Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Soul, Goddess of the Sun. She and her brother came into this world, radiant, glorious beings. So enamored with them, their father arrogantly named each after a sacred heavenly body. He for the moon, and she the sun. Manny was contemplative, obedient, calm. Soul, conversely, became willful, spirited, passionate. His children were everything a father could dream, but Odin and his ilk were not pleased. To the sky, Manny and Soul were sent, forced to drag the sun and moon behind them as the sons of Fenrir pursued them. Manny completed his task, while Soul, furious at her circumstance, defiantly blazed on, taunting the ferocious Skoll. Odin has never shown signs of regret for his decision. Now, war is upon the land, and his attentions are turned. Soul, normally confined to her chariot, has found a way to send her flaming essence to the battlefield. To the casual observer, the combat, the bloodshed, may all seem just a game to Soul, but she is driven by an age-old grudge and a desire to be free. Soul uses a mixture of basic attacks and abilities to deal out large amounts of damage in a short period of time. By managing her resource, heat, she can surprise her opponents with the rapid increase in damage, while also using her strong area of effect damage to control enemies. Characters that provide a lot of crowd control, like Xin Qian, Athena, or Ymir, pair well with the Goddess of the Sun. Soul's passive is Unstable Manifestation. As Soul uses abilities and lands basic attacks, she empowers her manifestation with heat, making it increasingly unstable. As she gains heat, she gains increased attack speed and magical power. At max heat, she gains a massive boost to her basic attacks. Heat can fade over time. Soul's first ability is Radiance. Soul burns bright, gaining a large amount of heat and igniting the ground around her. Enemies caught in this field take a large amount of damage, and on cast, Soul heals herself for some of her missing health. This ability acts as the quickest way for Soul to generate heat, so using it early in a fight can boost you to your max heat state. Upon activation, Soul's next basic attack explodes, creating a shockwave that damages on the way out. Once at max size, it quickly retracts, dealing damage again and slowing the target. It is important to note that this explosion will occur either on first enemy contact or at max range, allowing you to catch people outside of your normal attack range. Soul's third ability is Disapparate. Upon activation, Soul begins burning down her manifestation, gaining increased movement speed and being immune to all movement penalties. During this, she will also leave a trail of fire behind her. After 3 seconds, she will have burnt down all of her manifestation, becoming incorporeal, being immune to everything. Additionally, Soul explodes the trail of fire, stunning enemies on the path. She can choose to leave this form early. It is important to know that this skill makes you immune to your basic attack movement penalty, as well as making you immune to beneficial effects once you have become incorporeal. Soul's ultimate is Supernova. Soul calls down 8 strikes from the sky onto her enemies. Enemies hit will take massive damage and be knocked back. If hit again, they will only take 20% of the initial hit as damage. This ability is cast through a painting styling targeter, allowing you to paint the path of the 8 strikes. This allows you to throw them all in a large line in a small area or even around corners to catch hiding gods. Soul wants to combo her abilities well to make sure she stays safe and has as much heat as possible. Since Soul benefits so much from having heat, Casting Radiance to max out her heat will set her up in a good position to deal damage. Following this up with your Stellar Burst will deal quite a bit of burst while slowing them, allowing you to chase with basic attacks. Similar to the above, use your Radiance and Stellar Burst to engage onto an enemy. If you need extra chasing power or need to dive into a dangerous position, use Disapparate to pursue into normally bad positions. You should be able to pick up the kill before becoming immune, allowing you to escape. Soul has great punish potential for enemies who don't heed her warnings. If an enemy is stunned by the fire trail of your Disapparate, Soul can quickly cancel her incorporeal form to cast Supernova on the stunned enemy, following this up by Stellar Burst. Being aware of when to cancel Disapparate can separate a good Soul player from a great one. Soul intercepts the enemy team. As she goes into battle, she is welcomed with 2 ultimates that she manages to escape. Soul then turns around and ults, focusing Kukulkan, who gets knocked up and ultimately killed under her ultimate. Realizing she has nowhere to go and out of moves, she places her 1 and follows up with her 2 to get a double kill before she dies. When playing Soul, you will want to start with a point in Stellar Burst. This is both a great wave clearing tool, but also a good harassment tool. Follow this up by a point in Radiance to make sure you can stay at high heat when you need it. For level 3, you will want to choose between increased harass and clear with Stellar Burst, or increased survivability and safety from Disapparate. After this, your priority should become Supernova, Stellar Burst, Disapparate, and finally, Radiance. As Soul, you will want to focus on getting a lot of power to make full use of her passive. Start with Vampiric Shroud to sustain yourself through the early game before finishing Shoes of Focus. The cooldown and mana should help keep you out in the action without needing to back often. From there, go Bancroft's Talon for the massive power boost, into Spear of the Magus to make use of your many multi-hit abilities. Finally, round out your build with Rod of Tahuti for even more power and Holynomicon to allow your basic attacks to have that extra punch. Thanks for watching the Smite God reveal for Soul.